So recently, my strength has been exploding at a rapid rate. And many of you have been asking me, Alex, how did you get so much stronger in such a fast amount of time? What is your secret? How did you do it? So in this video, I want to answer that question precisely by sharing with you 5 lessons that I learned, which have been making all the difference in my training. Of course, I know that this will have the same effect for you. So without further ado, let's get started. First of all, the central change that I've made to my training program is doing whatever the fuck I want. That is by far the biggest thing that has helped me out, because in the past, I was being a little bit hypocritical. I was saying that you should live for yourself and that you shouldn't fall into society's expectations and all this, but I was doing movements that I didn't care about whatsoever. And as a result, it was making me miserable, negative, etc. Now, the secret to getting my strength up again was to stop doing these movements and train in a way that I truly enjoyed. And that's when the gains started coming back, because of the fact that motivation is key. And training enjoyment is key. You see, if you prefer a certain training method or style, you will likely get better gains off it because you will put more effort into it and your motivation is going to be sky high. But when you hate every second of what you're doing and you don't care about it and it's not a goal that you set for yourself, your motivation is fucking low. And that's the trap that I fell into. For months, I was doing things that I didn't care about whatsoever. And as a result, oftentimes I would just skip the workout. I would skip that portion of the training, or I would just half-ass it. But now that I'm doing what I want, everything is beautiful. It's exactly the way that I want. So I want to encourage all of you to train in a way that suits your individual goals. If you want to be a competitive strongman, train for strongman. If you want to be a competitive powerlifter, train for powerlifting. If you want to be a boxer, train for boxing. You want to train for wrestling, train for wrestling. You want to just train for general strength, train for that. You want to train for anything, just do it. And don't listen to anybody who says that this is not the right way, that you have to succumb to their dogmatic beliefs. See, that was the greatest change that I had to realize for myself. I mean, I always understood it, but I never actually fully internalized it. And now that I'm lifting for myself, it's so fantastic. I love every second of going to the gym. And my motivation is so high that I push every workout to the absolute maximum. And that's the way that you got to be. You have to do things for yourself, truly for yourself. All goals should be your goal, period. End of discussion. So that's the number one thing. And this goes for training systems as well. If you don't like concurrent periodization, don't fucking do it. If you don't like full body workouts, don't do it. Train in a way that you enjoy. Train in a way that gives you the highest motivation possible. And once that happens, you're going to put in the work. You're going to think on a higher level. You're going to be on a higher level of consciousness when you go to the gym, because now you're going to be putting all that effort, physically and mentally, into writing the best program and executing it. So that's number one thing. You have to do things on your own agenda. If you do this, I promise you, your gains are going to go up. And for me, that was going back to my roots of unconventional lifts. I started doing that again, and wow, I'm so freaking happy. Oh, and it also comes with a new naturally enhanced template as well. If you saw a video I made a few weeks ago, I talked about how I don't like doing volume work. As a result, I typically have low motivation when I do my volume workout. So I said, okay, there's got to be a better solution. So that's what I've been designing. A system that will be included in the next edition of Naturally Enhanced, which allows you to eliminate the volume day, but you're still getting the same results, if not better. So that's been a huge thing for me. I'm doing a lot more singles now, a lot lower volume, high intensity. That's the way that I like it. So again, it comes down to everything. You have to enjoy your training. The more you enjoy it and the more it's something that you're very passionate about and you just fucking love it, that's when the gains are going to skyrocket. So that was the first change. The second major change was incorporating more lower back and ab work than ever before. You see, folks, I had been quite lazy on my lower back and abs, and as a result, it was showing in my performance. I mean, your lower back and abs have to be made out of fucking titanium. They have to be the strongest area on your body for the most part. If you have strong lower back and abs, you can do any type of pull, whether it's off the floor, above the knee, anything. You can do any type of row. Any structural movement, any heavy compound requires lower back and abs whenever you're standing up. So I'd been lazy on lower back and abs, and I decided to take it up a notch by training them every day. And that's what I've been doing. I hang upside down in the morning, and I do crunches, like upside down, which is very, very awkward, very difficult leverages. So I'll do crunches, I'll do obliques to the side, I'll even do isometric holds. So I'll crunch up and I'll just hold it there. Or I'll twist to the sides, right? And then that'll also be followed by decompression work. I'm going to hang upside down for like 10 to 15 minutes. I'll do rocking motions, I'll do twisting motions. Point is, I'm tractioning the spine every single day, pretty much twice a day. I do in the morning and before I go to bed. I do abs constantly. I'm always doing spinal flexion exercises. So I'm working my midsection like crazy. I can actually see my obliques are coming in strong, even though I'm a higher body fat. So I'm really hitting those abs hard, and I'm doing the decompression work and the lower back work, especially when I go to the gym as well. At the gym, I'm doing more reverse hypers than ever before, okay? I'm also doing standard hypers. I'm doing Zerker lifts, deep range of motion exercises, awkward exercises, positions that one would consider dangerous, rounded back positions as well. I'm basically trying to make my core as strong as humanly possible. And by doing this, it translates in the compounds. It really fucking does. It's so effective. When you have a strong stomach, your pulls are that much better. So that's been a key thing for me. I find that lower back and ab work, it enhances my recovery like nothing else. It allows my lower back to recover very, very quickly, extremely fast. It allows me to get strong abs, which assists me on all my heavy pulls, right? And it's just the way to go. So abs every single day, spinal decompression work every single day. Then in the gym, I'm doing a lot of hypers, a lot of reverse hypers, Zerker lifts, stuff like that. So I believe that if you want to take your training to the next level, hit some lower back and ab work. Not all of us were blessed with the best leverages for pulls, and not all of us have genetically titanium lower backs. So if you can build that up with direct work, then you can overcome a lot of things. You can overcome injuries, and you will be a lot stronger in the gym, especially on the pulls. So that's been a huge thing for me. Lower back and abs, pretty much 7 days a week. The third thing that has benefited my training is the progressive range of motion method. Essentially, this is a technique where you start off by doing a partial lift, like a very high partial, and over time you gradually increase the range of motion to the point where you're doing a full range. And what happens is that each position gradually builds you down in terms of strength, and by the time you hit the bottom, you're hitting some extreme numbers. This is what I did to raise my pull off the floor. It was all a part of my strategy, my ultimate plan. I planned this a long time ago, and I knew that it was going to work with 100% success. Because guess what? It's time tested. You see, I don't need a fucking study on progressive range of motion. I know that it works because the old school strongmen thrived on this method. Bob Peoples, Paul Anderson, one of the strongest men to have ever walked this planet, got great success with this technique. In the modern day era, we had George Lehman. George Lehman even released a progressive range of motion program, and hundreds of guys got crazy, crazy gains following the system. So I know that progressive range of motion works. I think it is one of the keys to unlocking your hidden strength, to be honest with you. And that's why I do believe in partials. I believe that if you start off on a higher position and you gradually lower back down, you will be stronger. You will build strength in all joint angles. You will overload. You will teach yourself to handle heavier weights. I think it is the ultimate technique for getting stronger. And it has worked beautifully for me. It has been working on my pulls like fucking crazy. My plan was as follows. I did Jefferson pulls, right? Below the knee. I worked up to 1,000 pounds. My next step was doing the 4-inch block pull in the Jefferson position, right? 4-inch blocks. I worked up to 765 on that. Then I started doing the same thing with chains, right? And I worked up to 725 on that, 80 pounds of chains, although I could have gone heavier. And then, guess what? I ended up pulling off the floor a couple days later, and I got 655 on the hack deadlift, which is a 70-pound PR. How can you explain that? If partials don't work, how the fuck did I add 70 pounds to my behind the back deadlift without even doing the exercise once? Without even pulling off the floor once. 0 pulls off the floor were executed. Not one behind the back deadlift was executed. My max was 585 a year ago. I got 655. I couldn't even believe it myself. When I lifted the weight off the floor, I was like, holy fuck, 655. I couldn't even believe how effective it was. That's because progressive range of motion is the shit. It is the key to unlocking hidden strength. And I recommend that everybody tries it out. I've used it in the past with great success, and I've used it now with great success. And I will continue using it with great success. Time tested. So whenever someone says that partials don't work, recognize that Yeah, they do work. If you use it the proper way, if you use the progressive range of motion method, yes, it works. Otherwise, how did I gain 70 pounds off my pull off the floor when I don't even pull off the floor? The only thing that I gained out of it was, guess what? Sparing the lower back. I spared the lower back because I didn't have to pull from such a deep position, and I enhanced my recovery, and I got more overload on the upper back and traps. That's why they started blowing up again, all right? So yeah, folks, progressive range of motion, time tested, highly recommended. The next thing that I've been doing to my training is hitting my neck again. As you all know, I went months without training my neck. I was extremely lazy. I just didn't care anymore. My neck shrunk quite some inches. Or I'm not going to give you the exact amount there, but it was pretty pathetic, okay? And I noticed that my performance was always better when I would train my neck. So I started training again, and guess what? PRs left and right. Why is this the case? Well, the neck is connected to your upper back and traps. Which means what? If you get a stronger neck, your upper back and traps get stronger. I've always said that your neck extension will raise your shrug. And it's true. It does. And it also assists your upper back strength. So I believe that this has helped me with all of my heavy pulls. And also, here's a good one. I think that neck training might be enhancing the nervous system. Now, this is 100% bro science. It is my hypothesis. I cannot prove that this works. But I believe that a stronger neck, if you train your neck, your nervous system functions better. You can lift heavier weights. Why is this the case? Well, what is the CNS? Brain and spinal cord. Last I checked, cervical spine is part of that equation. Cervical spine all the way down. If you train your neck, I believe that it assists your nervous system. I really believe in it. I can't prove that this works. I would need a lot of studies. I would need research to be done. But it is my hypothesis, right? It's just a hypothesis that training your neck will enhance your CNS. And I know from my personal experience, whenever I train my neck, PRs are made like crazy. I feel way stronger when I train my neck than if I don't. Whenever I do neck extensions, I always get a PR on my pulls. It's guaranteed every single time. Again, it is anecdote, but I'm telling you from experience, whatever the reason might be, I know for a fact that when you train the fucking neck, it helps your performance. Whether it's related to the CNS, nucleus overload, just general strength and development, I don't know what it is. All I know is that it fucking works. So for all you guys being lazy on your neck work, try training it hard. Put on a neck harness, do some neck extensions, neck curls, do all that stuff, and tell me what your performance goes like in the gym. I think it's the CNS. That's what I think. So that said, the final reason, and I saved the best for last, mindset. There's nothing else I could say. That's literally the best thing that I could tell you. So I'm going to say this. Do yourself a favor, right? I want you to go on that YouTube search engine and type in Eric Bugenhagen. Then go to his channel and press the subscribe button. After that, click on videos and go through his videos. Only once you do that will you understand that this is all a mindset. There's no other person that has shown me the power of mindset like Eric, pretty much. I've been watching his videos since the very start. You know, I've seen his channel grow and everything. Great guy. And whenever I see his PRs, I see it more and more that it's a fucking mindset. And he's been saying it all along. He's right. He's right, guys. It took me a long time to fully internalize it. But once you got it, it's like, you don't have to think about it. It's a fucking mindset. You go in the gym, it's like, you know what's going to happen. You know you can add this much weight. That's how I added so much weight to my Jefferson pulls. I failed 815 a month ago. And then I ended up getting 1,005. How does that happen? Is it because my program was so good? No. It was literally up here. It was all in my head. It was mindset. I was able to do it. I just had to work up to it. And that's the thing, man. A lot of you guys sell yourself short. You don't set high standards for yourself. And you don't believe in yourself. You have low confidence when you go in the gym. The moment you have self-doubt, you're going to fail it. You're going to fail the lift. Whenever I have said, okay, I don't think I'm going to get it, guess what? I don't get it. Because that's what you're telling your body. What you have to do is sync the mind and the body. And in particular, you want your mind to be on a higher level of consciousness, right? You have to think in a way that's just fucking crazy. You got to set standards that don't even make sense. In 2017, I set standards that were extremely unrealistic. And I'm pretty much close to reaching my goals now, put it like that. Some people would say that it would take years to hit those goals. But I'm doing it one step at a time. And it's because of mindset. Each time I go to the gym, I give it my all. I sync the music. I do some hyping, you know? I get in tune with myself. I believe in myself. I have high confidence when I approach the weights. And I get PRs. I get serious PRs. And I know for a fact that it has to do with mindset. And again, if you go to Eric Bugenhagen's channel and you look through his videos, watch when he starts a training cycle. Look at the number he's doing and look what he finishes off with. And see how every day he's adding little jumps, right? And notice how he hypes up. Notice how he does things. Once you do this, once you go through all his videos and you see his transformation, you'll be like, fuck, I can do it too. And you could do it too. You could. You just have to harness that power. You have to believe in yourself and you have to have high confidence. So once you internalize the power of mindset, which it's so important. I know a lot of you guys find it funny to say, oh, it's a mindset. I get it. It's funny to say. But it's so fucking true. It's so true. You cannot underestimate the power of the mind. You cannot. Even if you're deluding yourself. Even if it is placebo somehow. That still shows the power of the mind. So tap into it. Tap into that mindset. And I'm telling you, you're going to make crazy gains. I finally understand it. It took me a while. But now I get it. I get it, man. I fucking get it. And that's the real reason why I'm making these PRs. It's extreme levels of confidence. It's confidence that I never had before. It's like, I know that I can't fail. I know that I will succeed. I cannot fail. My mindset is too great to fail. Call it delusional. Call it whatever you like. Point is, it works. And that's the real secret behind my recent gains. It's mindset. So, hope you enjoyed these 5 little tips. Let me know if you have additional tips. And let me know also how this advice helps you out. With that said, hope you enjoyed the segment. And I'll talk to you all next time.